Sahara and Anwar will real whatever this young man's name is sit down and chat. He asked her like, well, what was the problem with him? Was he a chronic masturbator?
Bro, how did we get there? What in the flipping flip?
Hello, my loves. Welcome on back to our channel. I'm your girl, Star Eleanor. I am joined today and always by my beautiful husband, Joseph Conner. Hey. And we are back and we are talking all things. Are you ready for this? Ready to Love Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We have made it. They are in our city. Okay. Yeah. And we got to really get into this joint because I am super excited that we're in Philadelphia. Joe, I want to come to you because I know that you haven't had the biggest opportunity to date in Philadelphia as an adult man. Would that be accurate?
Yeah. I left when I was college age and never came back.
Yeah, but for real, right? So seeing this and seeing just a little bit, just a sprinkle of the options in Philadelphia, the bachelorettes and the bachelors. What are you thinking about for this season of Ready to Love?
My honest first reaction was it was a bit underwhelming for me. You know what I mean? I just kind of felt like, being from the city, the different personalities and the different sides of Philly. And I just wanted a little bit more of the, upper echelon, more polished batch, and I don't think that we got that. But there's always new people coming over, so maybe we might get it.
Maybe we might get it. I like the way that they're setting up this season of Ready to Love Philadelphia, and they're giving us a smaller batch at first. Mm-hmm. So I think we only meet nine or 10 singles this first time around.
It felt super small, especially compared to prior seasons where we've talked about in the past feeling like it's 50 million people in the first episode. We went from that to like, is there 5 people? Is there even 10 people in this first episode?
Which I kind of like let's get to the nitty gritty of it all. But I must say, when you talk about like the pickings and everything, like they're from Philly and like what the dynamic is, I do feel like
it was a little underwhelming, especially when you watch prior season and you be like, ooh.
But I think what gets lost is that Philly is a gritty city, right?
Yeah.
However, it really is some good looking people in Philly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's something there.
It's real good looking. Like the people are good looking. They well put together. They got nice things. Like it's really dope to see.
Yeah, you might gotta search a little harder for them, but they there.
Exactly. This batch is exciting to see. We're obviously excited to be a part of this journey with them, but I do find it fascinating that I want to see where we're going. How about that?
Yeah.
Uncle Tommy is there, obviously needing all the claps in the world.
Yo,
because
why
that's
he
his
always
thing.
need an applause? I don't.
We should have came in here clapping.
I know, like it's always, and I love him. Y'all know I love Uncle Tommy, but why is it always like a pageant when he come through? Then he left talking about I married somebody, y'all.
I love Uncle Tommy too, and I can't even pretend like I don't. I just think the pomp and circumstance is exhausting.
It's like every episode, every time he enters, every time.
Okay.
That's literally what it is every time.
You know what I mean? I need a break. But we'll get into the singles. But one of the things that I thought was cool and corny was the wedding thing. And I'm going to tell you why. I think it's cool for them to see a successful couple from Ready to Love and Camille and Cornelius from DC, but I didn't think having a whole pomp. See, that's what I mean with the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, but it wasn't even pomp and circumstance. That's my problem with it. It felt really rushed and put together. It felt
like circumstance.
Yes, there was no pompous, no nothing. Like, where was the rest of it? Number one,
right?
They didn't even have seats to sit in.
Exactly, but they did have crab cakes.
Come on, y'all. I like the idea of showing them right up front what this can be, right? That to me, the idea was right. The execution was wrong to me. You know what I mean? Like let them have a real wedding And then let them be guests at the wedding,
But
right?
On got the
They ain't paying for
On
that.
got to fork that money out.
This
that
ain't Netflix, so I guess we should slow down.
And they ain't doing that.
Nah.
So we're coming on through. We meet some beautiful people. One of the first people we meet is Deanna. Deanna is a firefighter, little thick chocolate. See, when I think of Philly, I think of women who look like Deanna,
I don't.
and I think of women who look like Angie. I don't
do.
want to mispronounce her name. And Angie.
Yeah, I do. That is.
I think that's the spectrum for me. It's like beautiful chocolate women and beautiful. I just think the black women in Philly are beautiful. I ain't gonna lie.
I do too, but I feel like we have much more to offer. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, because I'm also thinking about when you first see the singles in other cities, right?
Yeah.
For me, this is maybe 3 or 4 seasons for me. There's typically a bunch where you like, wow, beautiful people. You know what I mean? Not that they're not, but you're like, oh, she bad. She's pretty.
Yes.
She's, you know what I mean? I didn't get that. And being from the city, I know it exists.
They're there.
They might be the minority. You know what I mean? Because I think the average is like
Deanna
or Angie. Like, I think that is the average. And I'm saying, like, we also got our fair share of, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what last season was. What city was it? DC? Beautiful. I mean, the whole cast.
It was some good looking.
You know what I mean? Like, we can show up that way too. You know what I mean?
But I think there's other factors. Like, do you got a job? How? And this is not just for the men. This is for,
that might be a struggle
this is for the
Philly.
men too. Because I feel like they picked good. I felt like the men pickings was fascinating too.
The men's, but I was disappointed with the men's side too. Y'all got one guy, he ain't even from Philly, and you could tell.
I mean, it was very clear, and that was Wayne, guys. Wayne had this funny hairstyle, which Philly does embrace the eclectic. It really is an artsy city.
It is, but you can tell the Philly eclectic is different from the everywhere else eclectic.
Yes.
And Wayne was coming in looking like a fish out of water.
And I hate those glasses.
And what's going on with the head?
The head is stressing me out. It's very clear that Wayne is not from Philly. There is a certain kind of, I don't like, not the word swag, but there is a certain kind of essence that Philly men and women have.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of cool. It really feels nostalgic even to watch it. Like, I feel like we go home, but feels like often. But
Too often.
But it is really nice to see it on TV and everybody get to catch the vibe and everything. It's a very confident city without probably even having a lot of reason to be confident.
I was thinking the same thing, like, because it was a couple people that was cringing me out with the amount of confidence that they had.
So let's talk about it. Who was cringing you out, or do you want me to run through it?
Well, I could tell you right off the bat.
Sahara.
That's her. Yeah. Cringing me out.
So Sahara is a home health aide.
And a quintessential Philly Joan. That's what
like
I mean.
A Philly Joan.
She's definitely on that part of the spectrum that we talking about, the rough and tough half. Like, she on that half.
But what I was telling Joe, like, you know, one of the this is so funny because before we even started watching the show, I said I'm fascinated to see how this is going to play out, but because Philly, he was talking about the selection, and I'm like, well, Philly, some of the women in Philly, and this is not a dig, but can give city girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's something about the energy that could be real, around the way, very, I'm gonna tell you what to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could get that way.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because somebody else described her the same. Eddie described her the same exact way.
He literally said the words "city girl vibes."
And that's not even something I would normally say, but
right.
I just, you know, I do think we do have we got a little chip on our shoulders a bit. And Sahara is fascinating because she doesn't think she comes off this way, but I think it's okay to be strong, and I think it's okay to be assertive, but I think she comes off familiar. And I think that's like, you almost, sometimes men want to be kind of bought in. They don't want to feel like we already know each other. Like, no.
I mean, that's part of her friend zone vibe.
Yes,
you know
that's what I mean.
That they were talking about. But if we being honest, another part of it is that she's just not as attractive as the rest of the girls, which is another reason why men will put you in the friend zone.
But I don't think it was the attraction
It was.
thing.
On this show, which it tracked again this year, because I said this, on this show, the first people that are cut are typically the least attractive people out of the bunch to the opposite sex. Almost every year, the first man to go, I think most women would agree, is the least attractive man. And the first woman to go, I think most men would agree, is the least attractive woman. It's been that way. We've talked about it.
It's funny because I want to say I don't agree with that, right? But when I look at the people who are at this mixer, and we have 10 singles, and I think about Sahara, although I think she's a good-looking woman, I can see exactly what you're saying. Sometimes people balloon in rooms, and then you feel like you have no space. Mm-hmm. And I find that in dating, you got to make space for people. And I know sometimes we're like, well, no, they need to make space for themselves. When. But the truth is, no, you got to make space. You have to be a little bit more open and relaxed and all these things. And I felt like Sahara was defensive. Or is that the word?
I mean, 100%.
Without the rah rah rah.
Yeah, the rah 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 is just a turn. It's just a turn off. I think this is what I meant. What I mean by I think we got we had some better options, and now I'm saying this from a personal standpoint. They might have not had better. So full disclosure, for production reasons, they might not have had better options. But I just mean like
great for TV.
That part too, and I just mean like maybe some that are a little smoother around the edges, a little more polished. You know what I mean? Because she came out the gate, and I was just like, oh, Lord.
But hear me out. I think Sahara and Angie are just the same vibe, different font. I think that Angie is also a very assertive woman. Like, she knows what she wants. The difference is that she might be just a bit more aesthetically pleasing.
And this is my point to what I was saying before, because I think, yes, you're right. I also think that Angie is a little more polished.
Angie's
than
a bartender,
Sahara.
though. So I think that makes you a little bit more. You get people interaction, yes. So you kind of know you got to draw people in.
Yeah.
Versus putting you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she's drawing them in.
Yeah.
And it helps that Angie is a beautiful woman, but I think that
Angie is just softer.
It's something
in general,
but I think they are. But she's also assertive. Like,
yes, but also yes.
It's so fascinating because I feel like she kind of got the same vibe as Sahara.
She does. I would agree.
It's different. It's just different. It's like different fonts. It's really fascinating. But I'm feeling Angie. She was engaged before, guys, and she lost her partner because he had a heart attack, which is so sad. So now she's out there and. Isn't that sad?
Dark story, yeah. It was messed up.
And it's crazy because it's beautiful because she's open to finding love again. But it's also, I'm just excited to see what this journey is going to unfold for her because I hope it's something at the end of it. You know what I mean?
I do too, because that was a heartbreaking story.
It was heartbreaking.
It took a turn real fast.
Because, girl, listen, put me in there with them. I'm done. So y'all might as well wrap us up, okay?
For real.
I'm excited to see where this goes. And the men is feeling Miss Angie, okay? And I think it's easy to.
Yeah, she has a very familiar vibe, you know. But that's the intangibles about Philly women that I love, right? It's so easy. It's so familiar. It's very quick. It's a lot of banter. It's never a dull moment, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what they look like. You know what I mean? That's the part that and I think when I was saying in the beginning I was underwhelmed, I'm saying there's plenty of women that have that, but then are showstoppers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They lawyers and engineers and I mean every T is crossed. Like, I feel like that's what I mean, but like I feel like there's more people in the city who have both.
Yes.
You know?
Well, let's get into some of these men's. Some of the men that stood out for me, Mr. Eddie. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I saw Eddie come on the screen and said, Jesus Christ. I think this is, to me, but when I think about Philly, I think about good-looking men, and that's what Philly is. Philly is Eddie. Philly is Naeem. Naeem has 5 children, which is...
Oh, Lord. With the three baby moms?
Let me go back to Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie said, I'm going to give you a 5-star experience, okay? He said, you just pay some. He said that I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to fix things around the house. He said, I can cook, I can clean, I can fix some things. We're going to be good. We're going to travel all over the world. What do you think about Mr. Eddie?
I think every brother I know from Philly say the same stuff.
Oh, listen, on my mama.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking, Joe. I never even told you that, but I literally was thinking the same thing. Like every Philly dude got a thing, and it's the same thing.
Everybody is getting flued out.
However, I'm proud of Mr. Eddie. Okay, Mr. Eddie is handsome. I don't think Mr. Eddie has any children.
I don't think he does either. If he said it went over our head because I didn't hear it either.
Which I'm hoping he could find somebody who also does not have children.
Yeah, which is going to be a long shot. The one thing about this show that I like is that it is typically older, more experienced singles, but it does typically come with kids. That older crowd comes with kids.
If it's 2, 3, because if you were married, you had 3 kids, then okay. You know what I mean? But when we get to Mr. 5, with 3 baby mamas,
it's not even that's what I was about to say. Because to me, it's not even the number of kids as it is the number of additional parents.
Yes.
That's when it really gets messy to me.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Because if you only have 3 kids, but you also have 3 baby moms, that can be really messy. You get what I mean? Like, so it's tricky.
I'm excited for everybody to get to know Eddie. He's going to be, to me, I think the ladies is going to love him.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous because something about him, he's a contractor. My stepdad used to be a contractor. And he also used to be my stepdad. So I'm going to leave it at that. Because when you be in and out of people's houses, things happen, okay? So, but I love him to death. But we know he had his own things. And I'm not to put that on Mr. Eddie, but I do think he's young. He's 31. And this might be a big thing for him to come on and do, right?
I don't think he's young. I think that's a good age. I think that's the age where you should be at this point and putting yourself out there. I think 30 and 31 is a perfect age. I think when you get to 36, 37, and when you get to 25, 26, you're too young and you're too old. Not too T-O, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the spectrum to me. To me, he's right in that perfect range.
So Mr. Naeem, another standout for me. I like Naeem's vibe. I have to be honest. Naeem was talking and I was like, okay, Mr. Naeem, you giving us a little something, right? Good energy, good vibes. He's an entrepreneur. He got a little spot on Germantown and Rittenhouse, where he's like helping people with their fitness and their nutrition. And I really like him. But you want to know why I like him? This is also a Philly man thing. The most likable ones got 5 kids. And it's for a reason, because they likable. You know what I mean? They are charismatic. To me, his personality stood out the most amongst all the men.
He definitely had the best personality to me. I would agree. And maybe that's why he got 5 kids and 3 baby mamas.
That's why he got 5 kids and 3 baby mamas. That's a lot of energy. I'm big on energy. In my world, you know what I mean? You can't be bringing all of that in and out. And where is the money going?
It's going to them 5 kids and those 3 baby moms. And
rightfully so.
Yeah.
But like, you making that much money over on Germantown or Rittenhouse, you can still take a bitch out.
No.
He got to be, listen, Mr. Naeem, okay? And I was very proud of the women, because although Naeem is one of the better looking men, let's be for real, he is 5 kids. You can't, like, what? Come on. Because 5 kids to your wife, your ex-wife, and 5 kids to, Shaniqua, LaQuanda, and Angel. That's where it get tricky. I mean, but same thing with I think his name is Eddie. The men that you want is the men that everybody want. Right.
And that's really going to be the issue. And it's the issue in real life. It's playing out on the show. Everybody, the first thing, Eddie is my type. Of course he is. He all y'all type. That's going to be the issue. And I think it's going to be the issue for Naeem too. He going to be all y'all type too, till you find out he got 5 kids and 3 baby moms.
That's
you know what I mean?
And I'm going to say this, and I think it's a red flag if you're that good looking of a man. I don't know why this is a red flag to me. It's not a red flag if a good looking woman comes on a dating show, right? But if you that good looking of a man and you on a dating show, it's something about it don't sit right with me.
Well, it's clear to me. They pick the men's side. They pick them like they pick the women. Every couple seasons, we see people on here that we like. Why are you on here from the men and women's side? You know what I mean? And I think it's pretty privileged. Like they like, well, we got to put some beautiful people on here too, because we've seen in the past people come on here and find out they had a woman and a man when they got on the show. You know what I mean?
True. Another standout character was Jay. Jay is 34. He has 2 children. He was with the person that he had children with, he said, for 11 years. And then one day woke up and said, poof, I'm tired of this shit. I'm out of here. And took his kids and ran. So Mr. J and Miss Deanna kind of hit it off, which I kind of like.
Oh, John
J.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because my cousin is John J too.
Oh,
John Joseph, so they call him J. He's in cybersecurity, which I'm excited about that. I love black men who, first of all, Kiara said, I love a man with a job.
Like, bro, what?
We do love a man with a job, though. We do. That was such a fascinating thing to say.
Such a Philly girl thing to say, like, yo.
Because
where
as opposed to
like what?
What is the alternative?
But this is what I meant, yo. This is what I meant by being a little bit underwhelmed.
You know what though? But it's fascinating to me because Philly is a college town.
Mm-hmm.
Also an Ivy League city.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I am kind of surprised.
Yeah.
At a large medical system, if we could have to your point, we could have had the doctors to this, to that on there. It's a lot of brilliant black people in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
A lot, like the Capitol headquarters, aka, like it's like a lot Delta's there. You know what I mean? It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
It is.
You know what I mean? But we got Mr. J coming on through, and True had gave him a little tea for his fever because he got 2 kids and is not still committed to the woman that he had those children with. And she gonna call this man a man whore, y'all.
But it's like, girl, what?
I thought that was so
extra, like, you know what I mean? And this is
Philadelphian.
Yes. I mean, very much so. Like, first of all, everybody on this show, half the cast is gonna be single mothers and fathers. You know what I mean? Yes. That's just where we are at we talking 36, world. 37, right. 40 years old. You know what I mean?
If he had none of that, we would all think it's something wrong with him.
You would say it was something wrong with that, which we've heard somebody say on this show before.
Which I think it's okay to be in a space where you feel like, where you have these thoughts. Don't get me wrong. I don't think True's thought was a problem. I think it leaving her brain and out of her mouth made it a problem.
But I think it's a problem because I think that's why you hear and you single now, True. A man tell you he got 2 kids and your first mind is, oh, you're a whore. You're a man whore. Like, what? How do we get there?
But it's the 2 kids and he didn't, because his thing was he hadn't dated but he was dating, not he hadn't dated. He was dating. He hadn't been in a committed relationship, which to me, if he was in a relationship for 11 years, him not being in a committed relationship for some time tracks.
But guess what? Both of y'all here together.
Also that.
So what they say?
So, that was fascinating, True. Kiara's from Southwest, and she got 2 kids. This is the one that said, oh, he got a job. I like men with jobs.
Kiara's another one.
I think Kiara's a baddie. Joe feels
differently,
but I think
Kiara and what's the first one I was talking about?
Sahara.
Yes.
Sahara.
When I was saying I was underwhelmed, I was mainly talking about them two. You know
really?
what I mean? They
I
both quintessential, Philly girl. You know what I mean? And both people who I probably would have left off. Like, let me go to Center City and find something. You know what I mean?
But I feel like
they were saying stuff, and I was embarrassed in the moment. Like, you know what I mean? I literally was like, she could tell my skin was a crawl. I'm like, girl, what are you saying?
So I was basically a socialite in the city. So I used to go out a lot and everything like that. But I had a very, very different group of friends, I feel like, that just took me all over we just...
No, but say it plain. They wasn't Kiara's in Sahara's.
No,
you know what I mean? No, they was not.
No. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is, I can sometimes tell my Philly friends who not used to talking to, they just talk to the same kind of men.
Yes, that tracks.
That's what I'm saying. They just talk to the same kind of men. I can almost clock it. One of the things I love about Philly though is that it's a lot of love. It's a very blue collar town. So most of the men there that's what the job thing kind of surprised me. Like, they don't be having jobs.
The people that she talked to, no. Zar, yes. This is my point.
I don't remember them not having jobs.
This is my point, but that's what I'm. Philly is eclectic in so many ways. It's economically very much so eclectic, right? So you can have a completely one of the young ladies from one of the companies that I work with. I found out a couple weeks ago that she's moving to Philly, and when I first told Zar about it, I was like, when she told me that, I said, "Why?" Right? And then as we talked about it, just jokingly so, but as we talked about it a little more, she was like, she's probably going to live in Rittenhouse Square, or she's probably going to
Fishtown.
Right. So her experience is going to be very different from, our experience when we were younger, young adults coming up and where we're from, West Philly and West Oak Lane and stuff like that. Her experience is going to be very different because Philly is very eclectic like that, right? She might live in Philly for 10 years and never meet a Kiara. Like,
for sure.
Never frequent the same places that a Kiara would frequent, right?
But I think Kiara is a classy woman.
Don't do that. Sorry, don't.
I do. I think it's very clear that she likes nice things. So
how is that clear? What you just talking now? What are you talking about? Like what?
But Joe.
What?
But Joe, why did I glitch?
It's clear that she likes men with jobs, but outside of that, like. What are we talking about here?
Why am I laughing?
I
think she's cute as hell. I'm not gonna fake. If I saw her in Philly, I would be like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, whatever the case may be. And I probably would tell her that. It is funny to watch people from Philly flirt.
Ugh.
It's hilarious because I didn't hear enough of what do you do? You know what I mean?
That's because y'all, we this show is showing me how far removed I am.
What college did you go to?
Because I was getting cringed out.
It was fascinating. I don't know. And that's not a dig on them. I'm just curious to see it unfold. Now, we meet Will. This one is a weirdo. Is his name Will or Real? I don't know. The bald-headed guy who was asking the girl. This man is weird. He's been married twice, divorced twice, which part of me would even give you 2 divorces. Part of me would even give you 2 divorces, except for...
His name's Anwar.
I know.
Who's Will?
I know, but when I'm watching the show, it says Will. It's very odd.
What?
It's very odd. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't.
I couldn't find him because I'm looking for. Yeah. I'm looking for Will. Okay, so Anwar.
Hello, whoever he is. This young man is fascinating. So he's 46, and he an older gentleman. I could give him 2 divorces at 46.
Okay.
If you had the first one at 25, and then maybe let's say you had the second one at 35.
Okay.
I could give you 2 divorces at 46. I'm a woman who lived a full life. So to me, a divorce is not like a deal breaker. I think that just shows you.
No. Not at 46. Multiple ones. You should start checking the color of the flags,
Multiple ones, it's him. And I think the problem with him is that I don't think he's been introspective about why he's had 2 divorces. And that makes him so unserious about talking about it. Because the connection of these divorces that his parents passed, during both of these times he's got married, it was because he wanted his mom to know the person he got married to, and then he had a connection with a young woman and when his dad passed, right? So for me, we need to get into the brain about why you feel like you got to do that when you're going through some kind of strife or pain or whatever.
Yeah, trauma bonding is not a reason to get married.
Right. And why do you think it is? You know what I mean? So for me, he's wildly unserious. And I think the women picked up on that. He sits down with Sahara, asks her about her previous dating situations, and they had an interesting conversation. So she said her and the last man didn't work out. It was on him. Of course, it's always on the other person.
I mean, talk about a red flag. Anytime somebody is constantly, that's they stance on why you not with any of your exes? Because they was crazy. Everybody, all of them.
Stop doing that. We have to shift this narrative. Keke Palmer said something I thought, and this is how I live my life. I reframe everything. Like, no, I needed space. I needed, more freedom. I needed more independence. I needed more honesty. And that's it. It don't have to be the other person like, oh, full out. He a mess. I didn't want to be able to.
But it could be that he was a mess, right? It can't be that he was a mess and he was a mess and he was. The common denominator in all your relationships is you.
I don't even think you need to be at first meeting somebody bringing it up.
You shouldn't be. I totally
that's
agree.
What I'm getting at.
You shouldn't be. But also
you should just be like, you know what? I'm here because I want to be here.
Yeah, but
I'm here because this is a step in my journey.
Yeah, but also it's definitely a red flag if everybody else was the problem. You never was the reason for anything not going right in any of your past relationships. Immediate red flag.
Yeah, because she said she lit a candle to get rid of a man, but not to get one.
Girl, what?
And I'm a voodoo priestess, but if you've done one, you've done.
I do not participate in the occult.
Please, I'm a voodoo priestess.
What does this say? You know who I'm talking about?
Janelle, that's my girl.
Janelle.
Y'all know that's my girl.
Janelle said, "I don't participate in the occult."
She did, but I'm a voodoo priestess. I don't play about that. Because I'm trying to free and liberate y'all in real life. Sahara and Anwar will whatever this young man's name is, sit down and chat. He asked her like, "Well, what was the problem with him? Was he a chronic masturbator?"
Bro, how do we get there? What in the flipping flip?
I just find it fascinating, and she was right to be kind of put off by that, but I'm glad she didn't like let it completely shift her energy,
because that could have went left, knowing the little bit that we know about her.
And she would have been right and spot on, because there are certain things I don't even think you should be mentioning when you just add a mixer. But it should be so light.
I'm going to tell y'all what's really fascinating and really surprising to me. The things that come out of these big ages mouths. I mean, he's 40. What is he, 40?
46.
You 46 and don't know what to say to a woman?
Come on.
That's
you don't know
scary
that's
to me. You don't know that that's inappropriate at 40-something years old?
Yeah, like, this is weird.
That always... These type of interactions always kind of... They never cease to amaze me when I watch these shows, because I'm always thinking... They're older. It's going to be less BS. They're going to be seasoned conversations, and they're going to ask about their job first. You know, they're going to ask about their college first. And I'm always wrong. They always prove me wrong. Like,
yeah, like nobody frat, nobody like sorors, like we don't got none of that. This is Philly. It's so many educated. I'm so surprised. I'm not even going to pretend. Like, I'm
Was he a constant master? What?
I couldn't even. But who even is thinking about that?
Why is that your first thought?
Because that would have to be in your brain. No, are you?
Yeah, right. Right. That'd have been a good question. Are you? Like, what are you?
Like, what? Like, how did that even pop in your brain? So Sahara really did handle that really, really well. There was this moment, and this is what kind of gave me a peek into Sahara's personality, where he said, I don't, at 46, if that's his age and his name, we don't even know this name.
What is it? His mama named him Anwar.
I got Will in my notes, though. He says that if he had a partner and she wanted to have children, he would have children. And she said, so you don't want children? He said, no, I'm just saying, if that person wants children, I'm okay with children. If they don't want children, then I'm okay not having them. And she says, well, you're supposed to say you just want children.
But see what I mean?
But that is so Philly.
Like, girl, how did you start an argument out of nothing?
It was like nothing.
What are we
And it could have been that he made her feel uncomfortable, and then she got a little bit of sauce on her.
I think that would have been her natural reaction. If anybody said that to her, that is a real like East Coast Philly, New York thing.
Yes.
You could be talking to a young lady and be like, no, that's not what I said. Like,
and my advice is stop telling men what to say. Just stop telling men what to say and listen to what they say.
Yes.
They're going to tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
Because that didn't even warrant, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, I want this. Right. And move on. And I'm saying that not because I want y'all to leave room. Leave room. Because the problem is that y'all will be giving a man something to say, and then guess what you're doing, baby? Talking to yourself.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? If you're going to ask the question, answer it for him and everything, and then do the response, baby, you talking to yourself. You got to let these men work. Let them cook.
The problem is, it's too many people out here that want to date themselves, and y'all are really making that evident. Y'all looking for, we're twins. Y'all love a twin.
What kind of weird ass shit?
Kind of incestuous bullshit.
Where have you
been?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. If you want to burn me to the ground, twin. Is it supposed to be like twin flame?
I don't know. But y'all want
I bet you it ain't.
Y'all want to date yourselves. And it's clear. Really like, have you met yourself?
It's so clear. Even though, I mean.
No.
How could date me. Date
No,
me.
you couldn't date you. You would be fighting in the streets.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, yes, you rolling around in the streets,
No, I
fighting
wouldn't.
you.
But I'm gonna tell you
would.
why. Because I talk heavy because I am heavy.
And not at all.
What's wrong with me, Joseph?
That would be combustible. No chance.
First of all, I love Virgos. I'm surrounded by Virgo people.
Women. We can move on.
I was trying to combat it. So at the end of it all, we get two men, two women who are up for elimination.
Yeah.
Okay, we get Sahara and True, and then on the men's side, we get Naeem and Anwar, Will, Real, whatever this young man's name is. Okay, and I thought that those were appropriate choices. Because sometimes I feel like they be choosing any old man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I felt like those were appropriate choices. It was so clear to me you would be silly to get rid of Naeem. I know he has 5 children. And that is a red flag. However, that charisma is something else, Chad.
And that's why he didn't get kicked off. But I don't think it would be silly. I think he could have went too. You know what I mean?
He could have went, but I like him.
Yeah, I like him
too.
too.
For TV,
I like him
He's
too.
better for TV than Anwar, Will, or Real, or whomever that young man is.
That's whoever this man is.
Okay, he's better for TV. Anwar is giving creep.
A little bit.
The vibe is not right, sir. The vibe is off, and you do need to adjust. And I don't like what he said to Tommy when Tommy told them that they're not actually going to eliminate anybody. They're going to give them a second chance to meet the next 10.
What did he say? I don't remember.
He said that Tommy said, just don't come off as strong the next time around. Be a little bit more, you know what I mean? Less jokey and more like, this is why I'm here kind of thing. He said, well, I can only be who I am.
Well, and red flag. They both,
red flag.
him and Sahara, red flag, responded completely wrong and deplorable to it. I don't mess with, go home, sis. I don't mess with you. I don't mess with you. F you too. And he's like, I'm just who I am. And it's just like, y'all, you got cut. They're saving you.
And also, you're affirming what we thought.
You are affirming, because everybody who cut you probably thought,
they like,
God damn. They like, we made the right decision. Yep. Don't worry, we'll cut you next round.
Mm-hmm. You're affirming what they thought. I think she'll be able to kind of hang out with the other group of people. However, with the feedback now she know how she coming off.
No, but she didn't receive that, so she completely rejected it.
She did completely reject it.
Because she's also, like we talked about, she's also it wasn't me, it was all my ex's person. Wow. So she's the I'm allergic to accountability person, right?
So it's just gonna be. They didn't say nothing wrong. All they said was that she just seemed like a homie.
They didn't say nothing wrong. And then the next batch of men that's going to come in is going to say the same thing. She's still going to be, I think she's still going to be the first to go.
Yeah, because I can't see anybody else. And True just got to relax.
And True should have been in the bottom too. True definitely should have been in the bottom as well.
And I'm going to tell you why I like Kiara. What I sense from her is that she is used to people taking care of her. That's what I think I like her. Because the way she speaks to people is a very specific way. Whereas True is very... her assertion borderlines aggression and how she wants to talk to people, you know what I mean? And get the answers out and need to know. Even though part of it wasn't that way, I think that I can see how somebody would perceive the interaction as peckish.
Yeah, it came off that way to me.
You know what I mean? I can see how somebody perceives it that way. And I just want her to kind of I really want women to feel, y'all just got to let them be men. I
definitely thought that they picked, as much as we said before that a lot of the picks for the first people to go have been more so superficial. I think they got it right this time. You know what I mean? Maybe on both sides. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I don't know. Is there anybody that you would have switched out for the bottom?
No.
I don't think so
I
either.
thought it was perfect. No, I wouldn't have put anybody else in the bottom except for True, and their personalities stood out to me in a peckish way. True and Sahara, and I did see the red flags with Naeem with the 5 children. That was a massive red flag to me.
Yeah.
And Will, the 2 divorces that Anwar Will or whatever that young man's name is. The 2 divorces didn't bother me. He a grown ass man. I like fully grown men. What bothered me is that he does not take feedback well, even from another man.
Yeah.
Even from another man, you don't take the feedback well. And you just, but he a former professional basketball player?
What that mean? He played in Shanghai for the
Yeah,
Shanghai
I
Sharks?
swear to goodness.
Okay.
I was about to. Get out my brain.
Stop playing with us.
Because there's a ton of overseas basketball players coming back to
It's
Philly.
a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
Okay, it's a pipeline. We're going to see what to do. I'm going to be honest, I'm excited.
I'm here.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see Kiara, Deanna. I think Deanna is bad. Like, I love a thick, black ass. I tell you that all the time.
What?
If y'all want to know my type, she really look like me. She really look like Cash Doll.
Deanna don't look like
my
you,
type is Cash Doll.
I like Cash Doll, but that's not Deanna.
I think so. She's thick and beautiful and chocolate and.
I think maybe that initial outfit wasn't really pleasing.
I think
for
it was
her.
that. It
You know
wasn't
what I mean?
flattering.
Because it really wasn't
flattering. But I think she's a beautiful woman, and I could tell she gonna give it. Because the one in the B-roll where she's walking, she got on the sheer top. I said, "What is that bitch?"
Okay.
So I think it's just what she showed up at the mixer in.
Well, I'm interested to see this new batch of people. Hopefully, they come with something.
I'm interested too. I'm a little excited.
Elevated a little bit because this is a little flat for me.
Goodbye, Joseph Conner. So thank you all so much for joining us on the Conner's Couch. If you have stuck around, make sure you are subscribed to this Mammy Tatum channel. Okay, you are subscribed wherever you're listening for podcasts. Make sure you're commenting, letting us know how you guys feel. Where are you from? What's your dating tips? How about that? What tip would you give to somebody who is on a first date?
Say less, listen more. Y'all talk too much.
Ooh. Not you saying Mouth Almighty. No, you only talk to me though.
I'm about to say, if you know me out in the world, especially when I was dating.
The other night we was in bed, right? Joe was talking to me, and I literally turned around and said, "I'm going to pay." You remember that?
Oh my God, yeah.
Joe was just talking. He had all these thoughts and ideas and everything.
But she did the same thing to me a couple nights before, and I had to tell her.
Oh my God, he said, "Did you drink your cherry juice?"
You gotta go to sleep.
I was buzzing.
It was too much.
Thank you all so much for joining us again. I'm your girl, Intisar Eleanor. This is my beautiful husband, Joseph Conner. You are watching or listening to the Conner's Couch, and we'll see you beautiful mother jumpers later.
Peace.
Bye.